there. We have a snowstorm out there. We have a blizzard, but we're still here rocking. Very happy to be here with you, Deshawn. I love you, baby. Thank you so much for coming and your wonderful energy. You make it easier for me, and I love you for that.
My pleasure.
Okay, our very special guest tonight, an exquisite young woman, beautiful, drop-dead gorgeous, and very smart playwright, Laura Marks. She's here with us tonight, going live. Bethany, that's the play that she's very proud of.
I am.
I hope
I am proud of it.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Let me show you guys a little playbill with America Ferrara. She is.
I don't think that's really her hand. I think that, you know.
Yeah,
but,
right.
You know.
And we were talking about your husband, and he's in the play.
Yeah.
As well. How exciting.
It's really exciting for me. Yeah.
Yes, it should be. I mean, I wonder what happened with you two when you guys go home after a show, you know, maybe having a difficult run or a hard night. You know, with actors, when we do work, and sometimes we have those frustrating nights that you say, oh, God, how I'm going to sleep tonight. Kind of wonder how does it work between you two. But before we get into this conversation, Deshawn, I want to see if we can get a little close-up of that. I don't know if you can tie me up that shot. I'm directing my show now, but what the hell? That's what happens when you're going live. Okay, this is a play that I went to see last night. El Cid, as we say in Espanol. Can I say that? Can I speak Spanish for a second? Directed by Peter Dobbins, Storm Theater. Masterful work, Peter. I love what you do. I love your devotion for the craft. I love your work with the actors. Is always exquisite. Well directed, well done. You succeeded once again. Tonight, I think the show got canceled for the storm, and they're playing the Notre Dame Theater all the way uptown. I don't care how far it is. I don't care how close. I always make sure that I got my presence in that place, because it's always special when you go to a theater and you feel good, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of difficult sometimes to feel good when you go to see different shows and you don't know what's going on, or sometimes there's too much going on, but you don't see truth. And stage work, acting is about truth.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, right? So, Laura, let's talk about you. This show is about you, so let me zip it. Okay.
Don't do that.
Oh, well, we can do that. The introduction, I have it here. I would love to hear your beginning as a playwright. Your if you can just go back in time and see when think about a moment when you decided, okay, this is what I want to do. I can write plays. I can do this. Can we go back in time and talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm not sure there was really one moment. I think it was more like, you know. But I think definitely an important moment was, I have a friend who's a director. His name is Davis McCallum. He directed Water by the Spoonful, that's closing this weekend. Wonderful play. He directed The Whale at Playwrights Horizons. A bunch of other things that you've probably seen or heard of. Anyway, he was a friend of mine, and he still is a friend of mine. He suggested that I write a play, and actually gave me an idea for a play. And at the time, I was actually pregnant with my first child, who's now 9. And I started writing very tentatively and showed it to him, and he said, great, keep going, which is, you know, great, keep going are the 3 magic words that I think every writer needs to hear sometimes, you know?
Yes.
So I did, and then he said, hey, you know, that play that you've been writing, we're going to workshop it this summer at New York Stage and Film. They've given us access to their apprentice company, and we can do whatever we want with them. I said, oh, I guess I better finish it then. And so we brought it up there to New York Stage and Film. They have this summer conference at Vassar, and workshopped it with the students. I had my baby on my hip the whole time. And then he said, guess what? Prospect Theater is going to produce it. So I went from having just a director friend say, I think you should do this, to having a really beautiful off Broadway, small but really exquisite production. So that was an amazing,
one of the best productions.
Yeah. It was an amazing introduction to playwriting. And then, quite honestly, I didn't write another play for a while because I thought, oh, I don't really know how to do that. That was just beginner's luck, or it was the fact that Davis was holding my hand the whole time, you know, or I wouldn't have a good idea of my own. So honestly, while I was always writing, I didn't actually sit down and write another full-length play until Bethany. And I wrote that in early 2009.
2009.
Yeah.
How long did it take you?
I'm not
put the
really
whole
sure.
thing
I think
together?
that the first draft was a few months. It actually went fairly quickly. It was able to go quickly because I had just gotten laid off from my full-time job.
Okay.
So I had some time. I had some time. I had a severance check and an unemployment insurance, but I also had this sort of terror in the pit of my stomach because, you know, my husband is an actor.
Yes, a very good actor. By the way, I enjoyed his work so much. You see, Dejan, this is the trick. You see the icon? You see how I make that adaptation right there? You don't even have to move the camera, baby. That's how I do things around here. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, just for the record. He's pretty damn good.
He is pretty damn good. Yeah, he's sensational. And
how you guys met?
Well, I used to act, believe it or not, and we met in
you used to act? Okay.
Back in the day, yeah.
So that's why you had this great sense of rhythm.
I don't know about that, but
yeah, I think that has to do something with it. When you know, it's like the rhythm. I don't know. It's just a line of thought, I guess, between action and words. But it seems to me that actors have a pretty deep knowledge about rhythm.
Well, that could be. I do think that actors who become writers often tend to be pretty focused on a character's intention, you know, and what they want. And I think that it can be helpful sometimes in giving you that driving thrust in a play. But yeah, so we were in a play together, and you know,
it was
fell in love.
First sight.
Yeah, it was a showmance. And,
it was a romance.
Yeah. So the rest is history.
The rest is history. So how long have you been together now? How many years? Oh Lord.
I met him in 1998.
Oh wow! When I met my husband.
Yeah.
Back in 1988.
It was a great year.
It was a great year. Tough year though. Tough year because relationships in the beginning are a little too hard. I shouldn't say that publicly, but what the hell? It takes so much work to make a relationship work.
Yeah, it's funny when I think about the stuff that we used to fight about back then. You know, it seems so trivial. Like, no, I want the salt shaker to be here.
Right.
You know, when you have kids,
it doesn't matter.
You know,
it doesn't matter. You want to change
not important anymore.
Pretty dramatically, right?
Yeah.
When you have a kid, it's like everything is different.
Yes.
100% different. Going back to your writing, Laura, because you see, I have all these questions in my head, and time keeps running out, and we got almost 10 minutes. I can't believe it.
Wow.
Yeah, 8 minutes, just about 9 minutes, 10 minutes. Casting all these actors, I like all the actors that were so right on, the energy.
Yeah.
Each one of them was very different. Each one of them was very present as well. How did it work out when you casted America Ferrara? What happened? Who decided? Yeah, that's what I want. I want her on the play.
Well, it was a slow process.
Okay.
I think maybe unusually painstaking as casting goes, but we felt like we got absolutely the perfect person for every single part. So it was worth it to take our time and go slowly. America was just a lucky break, you know. She read the script, liked it, said, I want to do it. So that was a no-brainer. I mean, she's such an extraordinary actor.
Yes.
And people who know her mostly from more comedic work, like Ugly Betty, I think when they see her in this, will just... I mean, of course, she's done all kinds of dramatic roles in films and things like that. But this is definitely a role that lets you see so much depth in her, so much range, so much power. Yeah. And it's great to see that.
Yeah, she was very, I noticed that she was so present, but she was so into it. Like, you can see when the actor is working really hard. And she doesn't drop it for a second. She's all the way in from the beginning to an end. And I don't think, honestly, she gives herself a break.
Well, she doesn't give her a break. She is barely even off stage.
And she's always on stage.
Yeah, or she's doing a quick change.
Yeah, so it was very, like, I was really, paying close attention to her work, and it was beautiful to see her mind. Like, she even, I couldn't even tell that she was even thinking when she was talking. You know, it was like, wait a second, this girl, she's thinking before she talks. Oh my God. So you can see, like we were talking about it right before we started, that actors, sometimes we are a little hesitant because there's the fear or insecurity, or we don't know how it's going to be. We don't know the director. There's a lot of things that are kind of uncertain before you start a process. But once you jump in, you're all the way in. right? And it seemed to me that she trusts the material, that she's having fun with it.
Yes.
But she's working really hard, because when I saw her getting that body,
Don't give it away. Maybe not.
I give it away. I said, okay,
There's no body in this.
There's no body.
No.
Okay, when I saw her putting that energy, I said, oh my God, this girl,
Yeah.
But she's really trained right. I can see she's a lot, she got a lot of workout behind her, and whatever she does for workout, she's in good shape. And she got great legs, I gotta tell you.
She does have great legs.
Does she?
Yes. Well, she's a beautiful woman and an extraordinary actress.
Yeah, to kill for. And the entire cast deserves attention as well.
They're all extraordinary.
All of them. They were funny.
Tobias Siegel is wonderful as Gary.
The girl with the when she said, sure.
Oh yes, Emily Ackerman.
I enjoyed
a
it
delight
very
absolutely.
much.
Miley Lucretia Taylor, who plays the social worker, is amazing. She, it's a small role, and yet she and Emily and Kristen Griffith, who plays the wife, who is wonderful, extraordinary. They all have these small roles, but they fill them with so much. And when they come on stage, you know everything about that character just from a few words and the way they carry themselves. They all three bring that, which is so important to give you a sense of a full world in that play. And of course, they all have such pivotal roles in the story.
That's correct. Each one of them. They're really connected. And Deschamps, by the way, just a personal note, baby, I love the way you pull that camera like that. I'm following you. You see? That's what happens when you're doing this kind of show. You better be present and you better be a good listener. But I tell you, you kind of develop different senses. So I like to be aware of what's going on with the camera work, and he really pulled it off greatly. I love you. But anyway, so going back to the play now, does it get scary? I'm asking you because I'm trying to write plays. I do not dare to call myself a playwright, but
I think you absolutely should call yourself a playwright if you write plays. I mean,
you think so? Even because I feel because I'm working on it, and it's once I get into it, I can't stop. So it becomes like a drug.
Well, that's great.
And it's great. You think?
Yeah. That's how I felt. I felt like this is my thing. This is
your thing. It doesn't get ever scary.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. I think if it's not scary, you're probably,
You're dead.
No.
Yeah, Austin. Do you know Austin Pendleton? I hope.
Yes.
Austin.
Ken, my husband, who's in the play, was in the play that Austin wrote.
Yes.
Orson's Shadow. Did you see that?
Yes. Well, I didn't see it, but I know Austin very well. He's an incredible acting coach, a great actor, director. He is one of the people that I look up to. I love him to death. But he says this, he says, Sissy, you can never be sure in acting. You can never be sure. If you're 100% sure, you're in the wrong business. Something is going on. Because it's so much uncertainty, right? And but that's the beautiful thing about it.
I feel the same is true of writing. I feel that whenever I write something and I'm like, wow, this scene is so great. I can't wait to get home and, show Ken how great this scene is. That invariably is just a complete dud. I should just ball it up right then and throw it away.
Yeah.
Because the stuff that is actually good tends to be the stuff that is more frightening. And did I just hit my mic and make a horrible noise?
No, we no.
I'm imagining that I hit my mic and suddenly
it's not something.
Anyway, but yeah, so I think that the stuff when you feel like, oh, I don't know if I can even show this to anybody,
right,
often is a signal that you're on the right track.
Right,
for me at least.
Right now, because time keeps flying, but I keep asking, trying to get. Are you happy so far with the interview, Laura? Do we feel connected? Yeah, are we on?
Yeah, absolutely. We're just talking.
We're talking. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I can do this all night.
Yes, good. Yeah. You see, we're gonna keep you here all night. So you,
we might get snowed in. So.
Yeah, but I gotta tell you, there's a snowstorm out there, and we're still here rocking the show. Okay, I'm intending to keep that very straight for the audience. Okay, God.
As long as the subways are open.
As long as the subways are open.
Right?
Do you live in the city? No,
Brooklyn.
So, I love Brooklyn. I live right across the park, but it gets kind of tricky with back. I can take a walk. Whatever, we have to keep ourselves in shape. Your husband, I keep wondering about your husband because I really liked him. I liked his energy. I think he was very, he was provocative in his own way. He was seducing the audience. I was thinking to myself, this guy going to pick me up.
Well, he does some seduction in the play of the other characters also.
So. Yeah, I know, but it was very, right. I liked him. I liked his energy. I think he was very present. I think he was very real. But between you two, how does it work, writer, playwright, an actor, you guys living together, is it get difficult? Because, you know, somebody said before that actors, we cannot be with actors, writers cannot be with writers. We need to mix it up a little bit. What do you think? Do you think it's